Hello and welcome to this video how you can create a plugin in Flowable. I'm Valentin and I will walk you through how you can create a plugin workspace, create a plugin inside that workspace, then how to go ahead and create a simple review and approve process, which we then expose as a plugin task. And once we expose that, we are going to use it also within a process. So let's get started. And therefore we are actually inside Flowable Design. And in Flowable Design, we are inside the default workspace. So we want to first go out of that one. And then on our overview over workspaces, we would like to go into a plugin workspace. I don't have a plugin workspace yet, so I simply go ahead and create a new plugin workspace. And the important thing for a plugin workspace is that you say that this workspace will contain plugins. So let's press create once we have done that, and then we can start creating our new plugin. Two-step review is going to be the plugin I am going to create. And in here, I need first a process. That's my two-step review process. And I need to say here that the key doesn't start with a number, and then we are ready to go. Now, for that process, we would like to have two input parameters, and those you can directly define on the BPMN diagram level. There you have interface parameters, and we can say here we have first a review form, and let's just fix the typo here, review form, and then we have also a refine form. And those are the two forms we are going to take as an input so that the user can define actually what is going to happen. So now let's model out a simple process. And for the first review task, we are actually going ahead and saying two things. First of all, we don't need to have an assignee. We would like to have rather that candidate group, and that is going to be Flowable user. So all users in our system can go ahead and complete that. Second, we would like to add a form here. So let's just say that this one here is our review form. So here we would like to do a review. And then furthermore, since for the next review task, we would like to say disallow user as assignee, we would like to know who completed that one. So we say that is our reviewer one, which completed it. So with that, we have an review task name. So we know the user who actually did our review one, and that is actually our review two. So let's just also name that review one. And we can say here we have our review two, and we are going to do the similar configuration here. So we remove the assignee. We say that we have a candidate group, which is going to be Flowable user. And then we say also here, disallow the user as an assignee. And here we say that is our reviewer one, which we have had here on our first review. There we see we have here completer is reviewer one. Okay, so let's go ahead and just add also a refine step that we are going to place over here. We actually need an exclusive gateway over here as well. And then we can go ahead and close that loop. I think I forgot here to set actually our review form. So let's quickly do that as well. So we have here the review form, and then we can say here, that's our refine task. And on the refine task, we are directly using the refine form. Now, we also need to take care here about the assignee. And here I'm fine actually with initiator, only that we are inside a process. So we would like to use the initiator of our parent. Alternatively, you could also just hand that in as a parameter. So with that, we have a simple process. We can actually just add some labels to make it a little bit nicer. So let's just say successful for this one and also for this one. So in case the review was successful, then we would like to just proceed to the next review. So then we have this one, which is yes, and this one, which is also yes. And we are going to make both of them actually the default flow. So here, nice and simple, just selecting default flow. And in case it wasn't successful, which is no, that is the way down here, then we are going to add a condition expression. Now that condition expression is kind of part of our contract as well. So we just say here review equals refine, and that is coming here now from our form. And that review form we still need to introduce actually, and there we need to set our outcomes, and one of them is going to be refine. With that, we have now our review process, which is actually two-step with review 1 and review 2. And we can proceed in creating a new plugin task. And that's our two-step review. Again, here we are just saying that key is lowercase and letter. And we are going to add a simple icon here. We say that it should be available in processes and cases. And we link our two-step review model, where we then say we have those parameters and the user is supposed to give them as a property, and we are making them required. You can do additional configuration here specifically for processes or cases, or you can even hide things like, for example, the in-out parameters. But we don't want to do that since potentially inside your form you need additional data, and we want the user to allow actually to specify that. Now we need to install that plugin, and that is possible with the publish button, you know, from apps. Here we just install the plugin. That means it does not go to Flowable Work. It actually is installed in your Flowable Design here. So we just give it a new version number. We go with the default, and we would like to say it should be global. So let's install that. And with that, we can actually go to our default workspace. Now we actually have, when we go to plugins here, that plugin installed, but inside our workspace, we still need to link that plugin. And therefore, let's say link plugin, and we select the two-step review. You have either the option to link the latest version or a fixed version. Fixed version is helpful when you would like to be not dependent on all those changes which are happening. You just want to have a fixed version, and then whenever you are ready, you are going to upgrade, while the latest version is the version which is latest published. So with that, we are going automatically with the newest version. So I now went for the latest version. And with that, let's create a new app. That's my test app. And inside the test app, I'm going to create my test process. And that test process has here a start form. I just call that my data form. And that data form is going to have a simple field. I just call that hello. And we are going to save that actually in root.hello, since in our subprocess, except we pass it in and out, we wouldn't have access to hello. So with root.hello, I have access. I also need a second form that is going to be my review form. The review form itself just is going to contain a subform, and that subform is going to be our data form. And we are going to say that this actually is not enabled, so the reviewer can change it. However, they have an outcome variable, which is actually my review. And we are going to specify here that they have the option refine. You might remember that is our contract. That is what we have defined, and an approve. In case you would like to have a complete reject, you could also model that inside your two-step review process, where you go ahead and say you have then, for example, an error end event, and then you catch that error inside your main process. With that, I have now a data form and a review form, so I can go ahead and model here my two-step review, which I actually have as a task here, where I need to define the two input variables, which is review form and data form. And with that, I can go ahead and just simply proceed with that. And I add at the end also on a final task. That is just an overview over the data I have had. So there we just use the data form again, and we introduce an end event. With that, I can save that. And even if that process here looks really simple, the fact that we have another process hidden behind that two-step review just makes it a little bit more complex than it actually seems to. Now let's go to Flowable Work. And in Flowable Work, I'm going to create a new test process. You also see here the two-step review process. That is actually our two-step review process we have modeled. However, we did not restrict the permissions, so with that it is also visible here. Let's just say world in here. We now see the review one, and we also see the data, which is hello world. I can claim that, and then I can say approve. Once I approved, I go to review 2. I tried to claim that, but actually I did not restrict the permission correctly. So the claim actually works. So let me go back and check my plugin, what I have done in here. So we have here for the permission, disallow users as assignee. I entered reviewer 1, but I would like to have the variable reviewer 1. So with that, I can save that. Now I can create a new plugin version of that. So we install that plugin. You might recall I picked with the linking latest. So we are already fine there. But I still need to proceed and publish my process actually, so that I can go ahead with that one. Now let me quickly create a new instance to test if that works as well. So let's say this is world 2. We claim the first one, then we say approve, then we claim the second one, then it fails. Now I need to sign into a different user. So let me impersonate actually Shane Bone. Since I'm allowed to impersonate, I can do that. I claim this task and I then say refine. Now the task is gone since Shane Bone doesn't have access to everything else. So I go back to the refine task. I say here world 3. I complete that. I have again review 1 that I'm allowed to do as an admin. I approve it. Now for review 2, I can claim it as before. So let's go back to Shane Bone. And then once we have Shane Bone here, we just say we approve the review 2. And with that, when I go back, we actually see we have the final task here. And we also see our change in our main process. So we have world 3 now over here. So in this video, you actually have seen how you can create a plugin workspace, how to create a process and an app and a plugin task inside that workspace. And we have seen how we then can install and link that plugin. And finally, how we can use that plugin inside a process. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe and see you next time.